It didn't take any work by us to get different federal agencies onto Facebook and Twitter. They wanted to do it. What the last piece was that they could ask that question, they could put it out on the network, and we provided the technology in the form of ThinkUp as a free, open source, easy to use technology that would collect all those responses and start to make sense of them. And that's everything from the basic ability to say, okay, this is off topic, let's filter that out, and into more advanced things like saying, well, how are these people connected together that are responding, and what are the traits? Have they ever published a paper? Have they, do they have any other indication on their profile of what their expertise is, or have they listed their job on a site online that says that they've got a credential because of the institution they're part of? All those different factors come to bear, and we're able to take a list and say, well, if there are 10,000 responses and a few thousand are similar, let's collapse those. We know we probably heard that idea. And then the ideas that came back that are unique, the responses that we didn't expect, what's valuable in them? And can we make some sense of collecting them together into a document that can go on the record and be part of the record of public responses to a question? ThinkUp is a brand new technology platform that is free of cost, open source that anybody can develop on, and is used to connect to different social networks and collect the responses that you have in the conversations there. So a typical way of using ThinkUp is an agency either talks to us and asks us to provide it for them as part of the Expert Labs work, or they can get it just through one click through typical technology deployment systems that the government uses. They set up ThinkUp, they connect it to a Twitter account, a Facebook account, or other social networking accounts, and they start to ask questions. The system does everything else automatically, which is collecting all the responses, indexing all of the people that agency is connected to on the social networks, starting to get insights about those people, and then presenting the responses that those people provide in some really easy to understand ways. So they can be searched, they can be sorted, they can be plotted on a map. All the different things you'd expect to be able to do with a valuable set of data can be done. And you can even do simple things like archiving them into a spreadsheet. So a lot of agencies that don't have a good data retention policy or are afraid to use a social network because it'll violate their requirements about record keeping have all of that handled for free for them for ThinkUp, and then get the insights as a bonus. The really interesting thing we've seen with the question campaigns we've done so far using the ThinkUp platform is we've been able to get multiple orders of magnitude increase in responses to questions from policymakers, and this has happened repeatedly, where typical public response methods and mechanisms like email or even fax usually get fewer than 100 responses. We've been able to draw that into thousands, even approaching almost tens of thousands of responses. And part of the reason why is the social factors where when you see a friend respond to a question, you're likely to do so yourself. ThinkUp is created entirely by its community. It's programmed primarily in the PHP language, which is a really popular open source programming language. It runs on almost any kind of infrastructure. There's a tremendous push at the federal and state level governments for cloud computing. And what that means is, those agencies don't have to invest in buying lots of technology. It's just going to be out of date next year. What's great is they've always been looking for, well, what's the application that makes using cloud technology worthwhile? What's the thing we could do we couldn't do before? And ThinkUp is a classic example of that. So ThinkUp runs on everything from the public Amazon cloud infrastructure to things like NASA's Nebula platform, which a lot of government agencies use. And with one click, they can deploy this technology there, take care of their record-keeping requests for social media. They are able to access that information on any standard web browser. If you have a brand new iPad, you can get to it. If you've got, like most federal agencies do, a pretty old Windows PC that's been kicking around for a couple of years, you can get to it there too. And the great thing is the ability to draw insights out of that is not just limited to this ThinkUp platform itself. There are APIs, which are application programming interfaces, that let you draw the data out of the system, pull it into ordinary tools like a spreadsheet on your desktop or even other applications, and build complex visualizations, really deep understandings of the data, powerful search systems, all these things can be built on top of it.